So something a little bit different this week. And brace yourselves, I have had an idea. I've had an idea for a new trick, so I thought it might be interesting to take you along with me on the journey of developing the idea, refining it, making the props, practicing it, and then either ending up with a new trick or failing. Either way, we'll learn something. So, there's this really old vaudeville trick where you get a snooker triangle, or sometimes it's like a flat hoop, and you put a glass full of water on the inside edge of it. Okay, then you sort of whirl it around either in your hand, or you let go of it, or you whirl it around on the end of a bit of chain, and the glass stays on the snooker triangle and the water stays in the glass. It's a really fun trick because the audience is obviously terrified that they might get, at best, wet and at worst, glassed. And as an entertainer, that's what you want in your audience. You want cold, hard fear. It's a bit of an odd one, this, because it is a feat of dexterity. It is exactly what it appears to be. There's no trickery involved, there's no magnets, nothing sticky on the glass, there are no trapdoors, no twins are involved. That would not help, but you get my point. It is a juggling trick, a circus trick. It's not magic, but weirdly, in my experience, it has been almost entirely magicians that have done it. And over the years, a lot of those magicians have suggested to me that I learn it, that I put it in my act, because correctly, I think, they have thought that it would suit my style. I like to use objects that people have some sort of familiarity with. It's kind of right up my street. And it's almost for that reason that I have so far not put it in my act and not learned it, because so many other people do it. What I like to do with old tricks is try and find some way to develop them, some way to twist them, put my own little mark on them. And I haven't found a way to do that yet. But this week, thanks to an overactive imagination brought on by isolation, I think I might have found my own little twist on this classic trick. So, I bought myself a snooker triangle. And I already had a plastic glass. Yes, a plastic glass. I am not a complete psychopath. So before I work on the way that I want to do this trick, I need to learn it the way everyone else does it. Okay, so you need to understand that this is real. You can see the bottom of this snooker triangle is smooth. The bottom of this glass is completely smooth. As you can see, the slightest little tip and that falls off. So the first part of this trick is to essentially perform this maneuver, but with the glass on the thing. Step 1. Okay, so I think I've got a basic idea of how this trick works. I'm starting to get a feel for it. So if we're going to start work on my version of the trick, then we have to do some slight modifications to this. Okay, so I'm just going to cut out a little bit of wood that I'm going to attach to the snooker triangle. And I'm hoping that this tiny little adjustment will allow what is still just an idea to possibly actually work in real life. I could be wrong. This is all just an experiment. That's part of the fun of it. Well, it's not the most beautiful piece of craftsmanship, but maybe it'll work. The audience won't really see it, and it's all we need to approach this old trick from a new direction. But first, we need to leave this overnight until the glue is dry. So it's a day later and the glue has dried, so now I can reveal my idea. So, as you can see, I've attached a little bit of wood across the corner of the snooker triangle, leaving a little gap there. And my idea is, instead of spinning it along one axis like that, you get a stick or a spoon or something, and you put it in that gap, and you spin it the way you would spin a spinning plate. So, like that, but with the glass in it. So, now I have the idea, we get to the boring part. I have to go and practice, so I will see you in a few days. So, it's my feeling that it might be possible to spin this the same way I would spin a plate, and possibly that means the glass might stay in the triangle. There is only one way to find out, which is why I'm in the garden. So the bad news is I can't do it. The good news is I think it might be possible. Which means that the bad news is really that I just can't do it yet.